Hello, and welcome to another video from Ellensburg Amplifier Repair and Service. My name's Todd. And today we have a Stetsom, what is this thing? Vulcan 5K on the bench today for repair. So I just figured I'd just fire up the cameras and just make a video and have people just kind of go along with me here. Ironically funny, I just responded to a message or a comment on one of my videos about going over and watching Bear Vid. It's better. It's better. So, hey, if you don't like my channel, I mean, don't watch my stuff. I mean, it's pretty simple as that. But Sam's a great guy. I'm just doing some cleanup here. This amp is a little dirty. But this amplifier obviously has a shorted output. I already diagnosed this before I quoted this. Pretty sure. Yep, this came in on November 20th. So what is my turnaround time right now? November 20th to December 8th. This repair is on December 8th. So that's my turnaround time currently, roughly in that area. Depends if I take a day off or not. Who knows? I am the owner, so I can kind of set my own schedule. But I always keep the customers in mind. So let me get the tools out. Let's get this thing taken apart. But yeah, so I just wanted to do a repair video here on an amplifier that I don't think I really have many videos on. Yeah, this is from Stetsom. So, you know, I do repair work for Stetsom. You know, I work for, not work for, contract, I guess I should say. I contract with, you know, several different manufacturers of amplifiers, and Stetsom is one of them. But this is a private repair for this one here. This is not a warranty repair. It's just one of those amps that I really don't see a lot of. I don't know if the sales are just not as high as like something like tar amps, but I don't get many Stetsom amplifiers in here in Washington, unless they're just not very common over here on this side of the country. That's something I have noticed between the West Coast and the East Coast, is we all get different amplifiers in. More types than others. So, oh, did they put screws underneath those fans? I don't think so. But yeah, so bear with me as I get this board pulled out of here. And as of this recording, December 8th, 2023, I am now over a whole 3,000 subscribers. Sorry if you can hear my dogs snoring in the back there. But yeah, I am over 3,000 subscribers, which I never thought in a million years that I would have 3,000 people that are signed up to watch what I release. So I just repair amplifiers. I mean, I guess I do more than that. I help people understand and repair their own boards. I do that quite a bit through email or even over the phone. You guys can, you guys can, you know, if you got questions, you can always call me during business hours. My business hours are listed on my website, ellensburgamplifier.com. don't worry. Feel free to call if it's at a bad time or if I'm not available. Just leave me a message, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Yeah, I think I diagnosed this amplifier with just a shorted output, and I do believe I checked resistance. The drive should be fine. I'm not quite sure what this uses, but we're going to find out. All right, what did Stetson do here? Did they really? Oh, they did. No, you're kidding me right now, right? This is how often I get Stetson amplifiers in. There's gonna be screws or something of the sort. Is there? No. No. Never mind. I was kidding myself. And of course, some of the micas come with it. I'll just put the micas where they belong. Because, you know, we don't like to wear thermal paste. These manufacturers will put enough thermal paste on here to keep a lube center in business for years. A little dirty, but hey, a little dirt never hurt. Oh, look at that. Blew up so bad that it probably looks like we popped some traces on the back. Oh yeah, I took the trace right out. Never fear. That's what we do. We fix things. So let's just go ahead and fix this amplifier. First things first. Hey, look, there's even a little, that's a dandelion seed. How funny is that? That's pretty funny. We're just going to remove the transistors. Once I clean up my desoldering tool here. Which you guys have already seen on video about me giving it the old routine maintenance. A poor performing Hacko 301 is a frustrating Hacko 301. So keeping those desoldering tools clean is pretty essential to your mental well-being, I should say. That's funny. Your mental well-being. I think these were the 4. I can't actually remember what transistors these are, but we're gonna find out. These are the 41. 4127, the IRFB 4127s. And no, you don't keep any of them. You take them all out. Because you're going to replace them all, aren't you? That's when you say, yes, we are going to replace them all. That is going to be a Did I just pull a rectifier? No. 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be a rectifier. Think we should check? I think we should check. We're just going, yep, that's a rectifier. We're just diving into this. So we're just going. So for all those lovely people that say someone else's channel, never mind. We won't even go there. I like to pull all that lead-free solder off, at least as much as possible. Am I done with that? I am done with this. Done with this. Just double checking, making sure I don't have any other issues floating around. Clean up my mess, of course. The old isopropyl alcohol here, because I like to have a clean surface area to know what I'm working with. Get rid of the flashed copper that got spumes that got yeah, all over the board. Yeah, the old plasma ball. At least that's what us electricians always, you know, said in our jobs. It's the plasma ball is what goes everywhere. All right. Looks good. Yeah, we do have one trace here that is gone. So what we're going to do is we are going to resolve this problem. It really is a really simple solution to blown traces, is just replace the copper. So I just make a spot on the board here. That's about as big as the copper that I'm going to be using. Grab me some copper. Measure it up. And that copper's going to go far enough to cover the whole, the via of that, for that transistor. It's a little too wide yet. Perfect. Hey, get back here. Yeah, sometimes you gotta talk to your copper here, so don't worry guys, I am okay. There. Beautiful. Can you see that? Probably not. Let me see what we can do here. There. That's what I'm working on right there, that copper trace. So what I did is I just cleared off the solder mask here to a pretty good length and then took my copper and laid it right back in place. Flux, always. I'm going to turn that Hacko, that FR301 back on, because that's what I'm going to use to solder that copper back down. I'm going to use a fine pair of needle nose tweezers here, and I'm going to pop a hole right in that copper and leave my tweezer in it, if it'll stay. There we go. But yeah, I am planning on doing a giveaway. I just got to look up the rules or whatever. If there's regulations on doing giveaways on YouTube. I am not sure if there is or not. I think there is. There's rules to it, but I have never done it. But I'm getting high enough in my subscriber count where, you know, I'm gonna give a little treat back to the people that help support me. So a little bit of Kester solder there. I do use 3 different types of solder. I use a Kester solder. Can't quite see it, but on that camera. I use a Kester solder, and then I use 2 different types of, what are these? These aren't lead-free. 63, 60, 40, 63. So this one's got a little bit more tin in it than lead. This is a 60-40. Well, I don't really believe it's a 60-40, but I think it's more of a closer to the 63-37 personally. But the Kester is a, in my opinion, a true 60-40. And I am going to just lay some good old solder here. Just like that. So that flux, what that flux did is it took that solder, that Kester solder, and it literally went right underneath that copper that I laid down and soldered that copper trace right to the board. And of course, we got to clean it up. I don't know how many times I've gotten an amplifier in where, oh my gosh, like whoever worked on it last had no, I don't know, no desire to clean up their work. Funny. You can see right over there, that's an Orion. That's a 12K Orion that, if I remember right, through my communications of the owner, it was actually repaired by Orion, I think. And whoever did that work, I would never hire. Just as a little FYI, I would never hire what the work that I saw on that board that I'm actually fixing. Yeah, their work. But there's that trace repaired. There's a hole there for the transistor. Let me bring that camera back up so I can fit everything back into view here. Take some resistance measurements. What this is going to do is tell me that the condition or the status of the output itself, the Zener diodes, 11, 11. Oh, look at that. Just fine. 11. 11K. 11K. So if any of these Zener diodes were shorted, you'd see it on your resistance values. So these are all 11K. Now, how do you go about knowing that that's a correct resistance value? Go check the other side. The other side, 11K. Look at that. 11K and 11K. And that's how I go about determining the status of an amplifier. Does my resistance value for this, I'm going to call it a channel, for this channel, the same as this channel, even though it's not a channel at the output, it's one amplifier and another amplifier. They're the same. And that's how I know, since I don't have any shorts over here, that at least I have a good idea that everything on this side is A-okay. You'll get a really low resistance value or a wide open resistance value, depending on the situation. If you had an open resistance value, your gate resistor could be open, but you still have a Zener across. So as long as my resistance values tell me that it's the same as the other side, then I'm good. 11.37, 11.35. See, I mean, that's just, you couldn't have any more verification than that. The resistance will usually always tell you when there's a problem. Oh, this board is so dirty, it's like a dull red. Drives me crazy, kind of. Clean it up a little bit. I can't stand that dull red. This is the same color as Orion. There, okay. So, I'm assuming I should be able to put in some 4127s and be just fine. All right. Well, sorry guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three, 4. All right. I guess we better turn that Hacko back on, because I'm going to solder these transistors in place. Oof, typical Stetson board here, where the transistors just barely clear the edge of that board. Typical, typical. Well, sorry guys, the glare of that light is nasty. But bear with me, hey, right? It's just a repair. All the transistors are where they're supposed to be. I'm just going to do one leg, as I've mentioned before in other videos. I'm just going to do one leg. Keep the others free, so that I have the ability to straighten them out before soldering all 3 legs down. We just want to make sure that there's no stresses on the legs of these transistors. Oh, look at that big old solder ball there. From the factory, of course. Good old Stetson. I'm sure they're watching me. Probably not. Who am I joking? Yeah. But then we're just going to go ahead and solder down the transistors. And then don't forget to add your solder to the traces here going back behind that transistor, which will greatly decrease the chance of blowing that trace out in case this ever fails again. So there's the output transistors. Is this thing not on autofocus? Hold on, what's going on here? No, it is on autofocus. Wow, focus. Sheesh. Let me get rid of my little fur ball here. So there's the trace that I repaired. And as you can see, when I soldered the new transistors in place, I also reinforced the traces coming off the drains of these. So then we're going to go ahead and flip it back on over. And then I'm going to reinforce the top. The source of these transistors to, again, help reduce the chance of blowing open the traces. And I'm going to do that to both sides. Rectifiers, you usually don't have to worry about rectifiers. It's rare for those things to fail or blow traces. Don't get me wrong, I've had a few that have blown up, but it's rare. It's rare for rectifiers to go south. And that, my friends, is that. This thing should start up with no issue. Should. That's what we like to say. Still a little hot, so I really can't do any thermal imaging. But I gotta let this thing cool down before I fire it. Hey, we got sunshine today. Nice. But that's just a quick rundown of the repair, really, of a Stetsom Vulcan 5K amp. Just a standard, basic repair. But yeah, I just wanted to shoot a video on this, guys, and it's Friday, right? What the heck. So I'm going to get this put back together and get it tested and go from there. So I do thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them down below, and I will get to you as soon as I can. Again, please keep your fingers out of the rails. These are 200 volt capacitors, so I'm assuming you're going to be about in the 160 to 170 volt range that you're going to find at the rectifiers here. So please stay safe around these capacitors. Thanks guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.